The Juno spacecraft detected traces of salt and organic substances on Ganymede. Juno has detected salts and organic compounds on the surface of Ganymede, Jupiter's largest moon. Scientists believe the observed substances come from a subsurface ocean hidden beneath Ganymede's thick, icy crust. Ganymede, one of over 90 known moons of Jupiter, is the largest moon in the Solar System, larger even than the smallest planet in the system, Mercury. It is the 9th largest object in our planetary system. Ganymede is also the only moon in the Solar System with its own magnetic field. It hides a subsurface ocean under a thick ice cover. In June 2021, the Juno spacecraft passed near Ganymede, collecting images and infrared spectra of the lunar surface using the Jovian Infrared Auroral Mapper (JIRAM) spectrometer. Analysis of data collected during this close flyby indicated traces of mineral salts and organic compounds on the surface of Jupiter's moon. These discoveries could help scientists better understand the formation of Ganymede and the composition of its ocean depths. The results and description of the research were published in the journal, Nature Astronomy. Previous spectroscopic observations made by the Galileo spacecraft, the Hubble Space Telescope and the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope have already indicated the presence of salts and organic substances on the surface of Ganymede. However, the resolution of these observations was not the best. Using Juno data, scientists were able to identify and analyze unique spectral features of non-water ice materials, including hydrated sodium chloride, ammonium chloride, sodium bicarbonate, and possibly aliphatic aldehydes. The discovery of organic compounds and salts could help astronomers better understand how Ganymede formed and evolved. It may also shed light on the chemical composition of its subsurface ocean. Nearby Jupiter has such a strong magnetic field that organic compounds and salts on the surfaces of its moons would have difficulty surviving. However, previous modeling of Ganymede's magnetic field has shown that the area around its equator appears to be sufficiently shielded from the electrons and heavy ions produced by the gas giant. It was also there that the probe detected the highest concentration of salt and organic compounds. Scientists believe that these are the remains of brine from the ocean depths that reached the surface of Ganymede. The presence of these salts and organic compounds could indicate hydrothermal activity deep beneath Ganymede's icy surface or interactions between its subsurface ocean and the rocks at its bottom. The authors of the publication add, however, that in addition to the activity of the salty subsurface ocean, other processes could also have led to the formation of the observed salts. Because Ganymede has a much thicker icy crust than Europa, exchanges between its interior and surface may not account for the composition of that surface, the authors wrote. In August 2011, NASA sent a probe to explore Jupiter. In July 2016, after almost 5 years of flight and traveling almost 600 million kilometers, Juno entered the planet's orbit. The purpose of the probe is to study the structure of the gas giant's atmosphere and to measure the planet's magnetic and gravitational fields and magnetosphere. The Juno mission is not the first to explore Jupiter. Previously, probes from the Pioneer and Voyager programs flew near the gas giant. The largest planet in the Solar System was also explored by the already mentioned Galileo probe and the New Horizons probe, whose goal was Pluto. A medieval skeleton with a prosthetic hand was discovered. In a late medieval burial, archaeologists found the remains of a man with an iron prosthetic left hand. The skeleton discovered in the city of Freising belonged to a man who died between the ages of 30 and 50. A skeleton with a prosthetic hand was unearthed in the Bavarian town of Freising. Near the Church of St. George, construction workers were laying new pipes and came across a medieval burial. Even experienced archaeologists recognized that the find was unique. The metal prosthesis shows how advanced medicine was in the 15th century. The remains of the hand are still found in a refined structure made of iron and non-ferrous metals. Traces on the preserved bones indicate possible amputation. Radiocarbon dating of the skeleton revealed that the user of the prosthesis was a man between 30 and 50 years old. He died between 1450 and 1620. This means that already at that time, doctors were wondering how they could make the lives of amputees easier. But this has been known for a long time. About 50 similar prostheses from this time have been discovered in Central Europe. These include both simple, fixed prostheses and those with mechanical elements. A medieval man wore a prosthesis on his left hand. A hollow prosthetic hand on the left hand replaced 4 fingers: index, middle, ring and little. They are individually formed from sheet metal and are stationary. The finger replicas lie parallel to each other, slightly curved. The prosthesis was probably attached to the stump of the arm with straps, explained Drive. Walter Erlinger from the Bavarian Office for the Protection of Monuments, Bayerisches Landesamt für Denkmalpflege, BLFD. How the man lost his hand and what the prosthesis was used for is still a mystery to scientists. The prosthetic's owner's thumb is still in it. Inside the prosthesis, researchers also found rolled fabric that probably served as a lining. According to researchers, the whole thing was covered with leather from the outside. During the late Middle Ages and early modern era, Central Europe was a place of brutal conflict. Freising gained great influence at this time. There were, among others, seat of the bishop. But this did not protect the city from invaders. For example, during the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648. During this period, European doctors began to make great strides in developing prosthetics for wounded soldiers. Drought in the Amazon has exposed hundreds of ancient petroglyphs. Extreme drought has caused river levels in parts of the Amazon to fall to record lows. Near the city of Manaus, the Rio Negro River has exposed a number of pre-Columbian petroglyphs. The drawings carved in the rock may be up to 2,000 years old. They depict human faces and animals. But it is unclear who carved them and for what purpose. The ancient petroglyphs are located in a place called Ponta das Lajes, near the city of Manaus. The Rio Negro River that flows through it is currently at its lowest level since records began 121 years ago. Record low water levels in the river have exposed ancient petroglyphs, usually submerged in the waters of the Rio Negro. Ponta das Lajes is located near where the Rio Negro flows into the Amazon River. Petroglyphs in this place were last seen in 2010. There was also a drought in the region at that time. But the current drought is greater and has exposed more examples of ancient art. On the rocks exposed by the river you can see human faces, animals and various geometric symbols. During a recent trip to the site, archaeologist Carlos Augusto da Silva of the Federal University of Amazonas counted over 100 petroglyphs. These are the most examples of this type of art in the Rio Negro area. In the areas where there are river stones with faces and symbols carved, various ancient artifacts were found in the 1970s. This region is an area where there is evidence of human habitation from about 1,000 to 2,000 years ago, said archaeologist Jaime de Santana Oliveira. In addition to faces, representations of animals and various symbols, archaeologists also found a rock with strange grooves in the area. According to them, they could have been made by ancient hunters or warriors sharpening arrows on the rock. The grooves may also indicate that stone tools were made here. Scientists are currently unable to say which pre-Columbian culture is responsible for the petroglyphs. It is known that human activity in this place dates back 2 millennia. Scholars also do not know when the petroglyphs were carved. It is difficult to date excavations directly in rock if there is no organic material associated with it. But artifacts have been found in the area that give some clues to the age of the carvings. According to radiocarbon dating, the pottery found in an archaeological site near the banks of the Rio Negro dates back 2,000 years. But as Carlos Augusto da Silva added, it is too early to say that the sculptures were made by the same population. The pottery found on the river bank does not necessarily have to be the work of the same people who made the sculptures. It could be transported by river from long distances. Additionally, similar examples of art can be found in many places along the Amazonian rivers. Water usually helps hide and preserve petroglyphs. So the current exposure worries archaeologists, especially as curiosity draws people to the site. An extremely rare element was created in the collision of neutron stars. Astronomers observed an extremely bright gamma-ray burst, classified as GRB 230,307A, which was created by the collision of neutron stars. In the wake of the explosion, scientists spotted a very rare element, shedding more light on how heavy elements are formed. The explosion of GRB 230307A was observed by multiple telescopes, including the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST. It was first spotted by the Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope in March this year. It is the second brightest gamma-ray burst seen in over 50 years of observations. It was about 1,000 times brighter than a typical gamma-ray burst and lasted about 200 seconds. The collaboration of multiple ground-based and space-based telescopes has allowed scientists to gather a wealth of information about the event since the flare was first detected. Researchers quickly located its source and tracked its brightness changes. Observations in gamma ray, X-ray, optical, infrared and radio waves showed that the light emitted in the visible spectrum was faint, rapidly evolving and transitioning to infrared, a characteristic feature of a kilonova. This type of explosion is very fast, and the material from the explosion also expands quickly, said Shahram Salafia, co-author of the study from INAF. As the entire cloud expands, the material cools quickly and the peak of its light becomes visible in infrared, he added. Scientists have determined that the kilonova was created by the collision of two neutron stars. Keel wounds are extremely rare. Byproducts of neutron star collisions may be short gamma-ray bursts lasting less than 2 seconds. On the other hand, long gamma-ray bursts can last several minutes and are usually associated with the explosive death of a massive star. GRB 230307A lasted about 200 seconds, putting it in the long gamma-ray burst category, despite its different origin. Using the unique capabilities of JWST, astronomers identified tellurium, a very rare element on Earth, rarer than platinum. Researchers believe that other elements heavier than iron, such as iodine and thorium, which are necessary for the emergence and development of life, will be present in the cloud of material ejected during the explosion. While neutron star mergers have long been thought to be ideal factories for creating some rarer elements much heavier than iron, there has been no solid evidence until now. Just over 150 years since Dmitry Mendeleev wrote down the periodic table, thanks to Webb, we are finally able to start filling in some of the gaps in our understanding of where it all originated, said Andrew Levin of Radboud University and the University of Warwick, lead author of the study. Scientists are now trying to learn more about how neutron star mergers occur and how these powerful explosions fuel the creation of elements. These findings were published in the journal Nature. The second patient in history who received a modified pig heart transplant has died. Lawrence Fawcett, who received a heart transplant from a genetically modified pig on September 20th, has died. The patient, according to doctors, was almost certain to die due to heart failure, so it was decided to perform an experimental operation. After receiving the pig's heart, Fawcett lived for almost 6 weeks. On October 30th, Lawrence Fawcett died. The 58-year-old man was the second person in history to undergo a heart transplant from a genetically modified pig. The surgery was performed on September 20th. It was performed by doctors from the University of Maryland Medical Center, the same ones who performed the pioneering pig heart transplant last year. The first patient, David Bennett, died 2 months after the transplant. He did well at first. He started physical therapy to regain his strength. Spent time with his family. There were no signs of cardiac rejection. But after about 6 weeks, his condition worsened and he died a few days later. The hospital said in a statement that the patient died due to multiple factors and general poor health. It later turned out that the transplanted heart contained a pig-infecting virus that may have played a large role in the patient's death. In Fawcett's case, it is not yet known exactly what caused his death. Doctors from the University of Maryland Medical Center wrote in a statement that the patient was making significant progress after surgery and was undergoing physical therapy. But a few days before his death, the first signs of rejection of the pig heart began to appear. The medical team did everything they could, but they could not save the man's life. We mourn the loss of Mr. Fawcett, an extraordinary patient, scientist and Navy veteran who simply wanted to spend a little more time with his loving wife, sons and family, said Dr. Bartley P. Griffith, who transplanted a pig heart into the man. Fawcett's final wish was that we make the most of what we learned from this transplant so that others may have a chance at a new heart when a human organ is unavailable, he added. We cannot express enough gratitude to Mr. Fawcett and his family for allowing us to continue our work with xenotransplantations. Mr. Fawcett was a scientist who not only read and interpreted his own biopsies, but also understood the contributions he was making to the field. As with the first patient, David Bennett, we intend to conduct an extensive analysis to identify factors that contributed to death and that may be preventable with future transplants. This will allow us to make further progress and educate colleagues based on our experience, admitted Mohammed M. Mohiuddin from the University of Maryland Medical Center. Fawcett suffered from an incurable, very serious heart disease. According to doctors, the man faced almost certain death due to heart failure. Additionally, his overall poor health and other health problems made him ineligible for a traditional heart transplant. It even happened that shortly before the operation, his heart stopped and the patient required resuscitation. On September 15, U.S. regulators approved the experimental surgery in hopes of extending his life. In the first weeks after surgery, the new heart functioned well. There were no signs of rejection. Larry began this journey with an open mind and complete trust in Dr. Griffith and his staff. He knew his time with us was short and this was his last chance to do something for others. He never imagined he would survive this long or provide so much data to the xenograft program, said his wife, Anne. After identifying the virus in a transplanted heart last year, scientists have developed better tests to detect it. They also made some changes to the medications administered to the patient. But as you can see, it did not bring the expected results. The shortage of organs and tissues needed for transplantation has long been one of the most significant and unmet medical problems. The waiting lists in every center that offers transplantation are long and the vast majority of patients cannot wait to find a suitable donor. Thousands of patients die every year because of this. The best human organ donors are other people, and pigs. For years, research has been conducted on the so-called xenografts, i.e., transplantation of organs or tissues from an individual belonging to another species. Although this may seem like a horror movie scenario, it is in fact a huge step towards increasing the pool of organs available for transplantation and may alleviate the shortage of human organs in the future. Contrary to appearances, human genetic material does not differ significantly from pig genetic material. The size of the organs and the mechanism of action are also appropriate. Attempts to transplant organs from animals to humans have failed because our immune system immediately destroys the foreign tissue. Now scientists are trying to use genetically modified pigs to make their organs more closely resemble those of humans. The pig from which the heart came belonged to a genetically modified herd. These animals have undergone many changes to ensure that their organs do not cause a strong immune response and rejection of the organ by the recipient's body. Some pig genes have been deactivated, others modified. In addition, several human genes were introduced into the pig genome. These modifications were intended to make pig organs more tolerant to the human immune system. Previously, organs from animals from this herd were transplanted into primates. Revivicor, a subsidiary of United Therapeutics, is responsible for the herd. The same entity provided the pig used in last year's groundbreaking heart transplant and the kidney that New York surgeons attached to a human. The human body did not reject the transplanted organ, and the pig kidney resumed its functions.